One of the most overrated aspects of self-improvement has got to be the self-improvement books. Because it feels like to me that people in this community just seem to recommend the same 15 books over and over again. And for some reason in these communities, people really seem to hate the idea of reading fiction, even though a lot of the books that they preach and worship are pretty much just as fictional. Like, the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad is pretty much just a high-level scammer, even if we just look past his personal activities. The book itself gives extremely basic financial advice. What he says in the book is pretty much just the equivalent of someone writing a book about how to get fit, and they just tell you to eat well and work out. The book Think and Grow Rich, which also gets recommended by a few people here and there, was also just written by a high-level scammer who lied his way to the top. And even in women's self-improvement spaces, they tend to believe in stuff like The Secret, which is pretty much just some Jujutsu Kaisen type shit. When have you ever heard a rich or famous person say that the secret behind all their success was a book that's available to millions of people around the world? Also, social engineering books make a lot of the shit they recommend sound way easier than it actually is to implement in everyday life. 99% of the people who read the 48 Laws of Power didn't come out that thing as some kind of Machiavellian super genius supervillain. Even the guy who inspired the book in the first place was a bum. Meditations and Stoicism in general have a good message, but most people take it as being that you have no emotions whatsoever. The Art of War also has good lessons in it, but I feel like people forget that this is literally a military handbook. Like, I'm not exactly sure how burning your enemy's wagons is gonna help a McDonald's employee, even when it comes to their gripes about fiction. Good fiction books at least have some kind of overarching theme and message that they're trying to tell their reader. And at least you can tell that most fiction writers are coming from a place of passion and not just trying to make their wallet heavier. The overall message of self-improvement books are good, don't get me wrong. But the problem is that you can read as many books as you want, and in a sense, it almost feels like you're improving. Because if you don't do anything, you're cooked.